Have you ever wondered why $100,000 feels like a magic number in personal finance? Why do people say, once you hit your first 100,000, everything changes? It sounds cliche until you realize it's not. There's a psychological and mathematical reason behind it. And by the end of this video, you'll see why the first $100,000 is not just a milestone, it's the turning point where money finally starts working for you instead of against you. So today, we're breaking down exactly why $100,000 is the most important threshold in your financial life, and what happens after you cross it. But here's what most people don't realize. The reason $100,000 changes everything isn't just about money. It's about momentum, habits, and leverage. Stay with me, because in a few minutes, I'll show you how someone making an average income can realistically reach it faster than you think. Let's start with the real reason $100,000 matters. When you're below six figures in net worth, every dollar you save feels like a drop in an endless ocean. You save $500, invest it, and the market moves up 10%. That's $50, not much. You work hard, but growth feels painfully slow. But once you hit $100,000, something magical happens. Your money starts to compound meaningfully. A 10% annual return now gives you $10,000. Without lifting a finger, that's almost a month's salary for many people, earned by doing absolutely nothing. This is where compounding stops being theory and becomes real. Albert Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. But what he didn't mention is how psychological the first $100,000 is. It's the point where your brain finally sees that your money can make more money than you can. And once you experience that, your entire relationship with wealth changes. But here's the twist. The hardest part isn't the next $900,000, it's the first $100,000. Charlie Munger famously said, "The first $100,000 is a big, but you gotta do it." He was right, because that first $100,000 is built purely on discipline, sacrifice, and habits, not on investment returns. Now, let's break down why the psychology of money shifts completely once you hit that number. When you're broke or just starting out, you make decisions emotionally, chasing trends, buying unnecessary things, trying to impress others. But once you start seeing your investments grow on their own, you move from survival mode to strategic mode. You stop asking, "How do I save money?" and start asking, "How do I multiply it?" That's a mental pivot 90% of people never make. Here's an example. Imagine two people, Alex and Jordan. Both earn $60,000 a year. Alex spends everything: new phone, nights out, lifestyle creep. Jordan saves 25% consistently and invests it. In 5 years, Jordan's net worth crosses $100,000. The next 5 years, that same $100,000 compounds into $160,000, even if Jordan stops saving completely. Meanwhile, Alex is still living paycheck to paycheck. The only difference was habits and time. The truth is, $100,000 is the moment your money gains agency. It starts moving on its own. And that's the first big idea. Now, before we move on, I want you to imagine something. Imagine your investments working so effectively that in a few years, they earn more in a year than your 9 to 5 does. Sounds impossible? Wait till you see the second reason. $100,000 changes your financial life. Leverage. See, most people think leverage means debt or risky trading. But real leverage is when your capital, skills, and time combine to multiply output. When you hit $100,000, you finally have capital leverage. You can buy assets that generate passive income: index funds, real estate, Dividend stocks, small businesses. Your money gives you options, it gives you power. For instance, with $100,000, you can generate $600 to $1,000 per month through conservative dividend portfolios or RETs. That covers basic expenses, freeing your mind to think long term. More importantly, opportunities that weren't available before suddenly open up. Banks treat you differently. You qualify for better rates, credit lines, investment options. You've entered a different financial class, not of wealth, but of access. And the real kicker? The skills and systems you used to make that $100,000 are the exact ones that will take you to $1 million. You don't need to reinvent anything. You just need to scale what already worked. Now, let's transition to something that's even more interesting: how the $100,000 mark changes your time. Time is the ultimate flex. Before $100,000, you trade time for money. After it, you start trading money for time. You buy back your hours. You invest in tools, automation, delegation. You realize your time has a return on investment too. That's why most self-made millionaires look calm, even lazy on the surface. They've optimized their time to focus only on high-leverage decisions. For example, they'll spend hours building systems, not tasks. They'll invest $1,000 in an online course or automation that saves them hundreds of hours later, because they finally understand that time, not effort, drives wealth. This is where financial freedom truly starts, when your money buys back your time. Let me give you a visual. Imagine two graphs. One shows money, one shows time. At zero net worth, both lines are flat. At $100,000, the money line suddenly curves upward, and the timeline starts curving too. You earn more and work less. That's what financial compounding looks like. But here's the real kicker. Hitting $100,000 doesn't just change your finances, it changes your identity. Because once you see yourself as a person who can save, invest, and grow wealth, you start making every decision differently. You stop feeling like a victim of the system and start acting like a player in it. It's not about being rich, it's about being in control. And that's the third big idea: identity compounding. When your self-image upgrades, your wealth follows. You no longer see investing as optional, you see it as normal. You no longer chase quick money, you build long-term assets. This identity shift is why most people who hit their first $100,000 never go back to being broke. They've rewired how they think about money. And if you're watching this thinking, okay, but how do I get there? Here's where most people go wrong. They focus on earning more before learning to keep what they already have. You don't need to double your income to hit $100,000. You need to control your outflow and automate your growth. Here's a framework I call the quiet path to $100,000. Save 25% of income no matter what. Invest every month in broad index funds. Avoid lifestyle creep for 3 years. Reinvest every dividend and windfall. Don't touch your investments. Let compounding breathe. It's boring, but it works. Because the moment your money compounds faster than your desires expand, you win. Now here's the climax. The truth most people never hear. $100,000 doesn't make you rich, it makes you ready. Ready to see how money really works. Ready to stop hustling endlessly and start leveraging intelligently. The difference between someone with $10,000 and someone with $100,000 isn't the number of zeros, it's the number of lessons learned. So if you're still building toward it, keep going. Every sacrifice, every delayed purchase, every night you chose to learn instead of scroll, it compounds. Because once you hit your first $100,000, you'll realize it wasn't about the money at all. It was about becoming the kind of person who could build it. And from there, The rest is inevitable. Subscribe for more insights like this.